What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel where you subscribe for daily updates on Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. Everybody is extremely bullish right now, and I get it. We went up a little bit, but I do want to show you that I did show you a possible scenario of a bull trap that seems like could be playing out. And I will show you the invalidation point too, where then it's bullish if we cross a certain point. Now, don't forget, we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's an awesome community, guys. And let's get into it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, nor is it trading advice. Always do your own due diligence and own research before investing or trading in any markets. All right, the Fear and Greed Index, we're at 48. We raised 2 points from yesterday. We were in the fear zone. We are now in the neutral zone. I know everybody's getting really excited, but I do want you to be cautious, and I'll show you why. I'm going to show you a clip of yesterday's video and show you that this could be playing out exactly the way I explained it, and I will show you the invalidation point. But first, I want to remind you, we do have a Ledger Nano S giveaway. We're going to be doing that on Sunday. All you have to do to enter to win is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that thumbs up, tick your notification bell, and leave a comment below. That will get you entered to win. I'll pick a random comment from a random video throughout the week on Sunday, and that will be the winner. But let's take a look at this video and see what happens. If we come down and break this level around 10,450, guys, we are most likely headed down to this. We have tested this trend line a few times, tested this trend line a few times. Whichever one of these breaks, it's gonna, even if we break the top here, guys, it could be a fake out, get a quick wake up, and drop down. We see that all the time in these, so be aware that that is a major possibility. That would be a bull trap. All right, so that could be the bull trap I was talking about. So let's see what's going on. First of all, the macro, still bearish, guys, in the macro, still lower highs. And if we look at the monthly, whoops, did not mean to do that. If we look at the monthly price action, we're getting higher highs by looking at the bodies. And then look at the RSI, lower highs. That is bearish divergence in the monthly. Now, this is the important trend line here. We have been talking about a monthly and even a weekly close. We're going to talk about the weekly also. Let's get into that right now. So the weekly, we are above that right now. If we close the weekly above this and open another one above, I will be bullish at that point, guys, to possibly up to the 14,000 to 16,000 area. But we'll look at the targets. I do want to point out where we're at. Like I said, right now on this trend line, I do believe this was a bull trap up here, and there's a very good possibility we could be in a bull trap right now, right there. So keep an eye on it, and let's take a look at the RSI. So on the RSI, I do think there is a major trading opportunity coming, and I am looking for a drop below this trend line here and a retest of this bottom trend line. I still believe in the long term. Let's not say long term. In the long term, I'm super bullish on Bitcoin. In the mid long term, I am still bearish, guys. I still think at some point we're going to come down, retest this trend line. I could be wrong. We're going to take a look at both scenarios. Let's take a look at this chart here that we've been looking at for a long time. I've been talking about a possible another black swan event, just like we had here with the big breakout and the shutdowns. And I do think that we are going to come back down, another capitulation just like that over here in this area. Again, I could be wrong. Let's take a look at what's going on here. This is the daily. So if we close up in this range, which is still below here, right around the 11,080. If we close in there, we're going to have exaggerated divergence where the candles bodies are straight across, but here we have higher highs in the RSI. That will be bearish. Let's take a look at the measured moves here. So if we did come up to retest the top of this in the next couple days, that could be 12,000, the top of this rising broadening wedge. The bottom right now is around 11,000 11,480, somewhere in that range, depending on if we come down and where we do come down if we break this line. Let's take some measured moves. First, this one is not so valid anymore, looking at it as a bear flag, but I'm still going to show you the measured move on that. And that's because the flag is so long, but that's around the $8,700 range. And if we look at this, if we were to break this weekend, break the bottom trend line, that would be a measured move of around $9,000. Somewhere in that range would be the measured move of a drop below this, which, like I said, is around 10,500. Keep an eye on that. The 200 EMA lies around 99.30. As of right now in the daily, the EMAs are crossing over. They do look pretty bullish here. So let's take a look at Prime XBT. I'll leave a tutorial up top if you're interested in trading on leverage or margin. But I do want to show you my trades right now. I did short again this morning. I got closed on my shorts. Remember, we started this account with 0.1 Bitcoin. We have 0.21 right now. We had 0.26 yesterday, but I did get stopped out, lost some, and re-entered shorts here at 1166. Oh, I'm sorry, at 1149, 44, 81, 87, and 89 with my stop losses at 11,125. If we do get a drop down into this range and retest this area, 11.7, somewhere in there, I will move my stops down to around 11.9, somewhere in that range. But that's what I'm looking at here. If you guys are interested in trading, you can use even if you already have a Prime account. If you don't, definitely use my link down below. But even if you already have one, you can use my promo code Savy50 to get you 50% on top of your bonus up to 1 Bitcoin. Savy25 gets you 25% off of your fees for a month. So definitely check into that if you haven't already. I also want to show you some bearish divergence here, but we'll look at that as we go down in the charts. All right, another way to look at the charts here. Looking at this as in the white as a rising broadening wedge. The measured move down from that is around the $3,800 range. As you guys know, I've been talking about a CME futures gap all the way down in this area. It is there. You can see it in the 8-hour. There's no guarantees it goes down there, guys, but you need to be aware of that. And I know everybody's really bullish right now. I'm just saying, be careful, be cautious. As I've told the people in my Discord, I have sold all my Bitcoin except the Bitcoin that I'm trading now, and I do plan on buying back lower. If we break up past the old right here, if we do break this 13.8, I'll wait for a retest of it. And that could be getting up to this range, the top of this rising broadening wedge in pink. And if that happens and it breaks, I'll buy back in. No harm, no foul. I did protect my capital because I do seriously think this thing is bearish. All right, now let's take a look at this as a rising broadening wedge in pink. And if we were to break this by this weekend, our measured move is actually moving up a little bit to about 65, 70, 6,600, right in that range. And there is another trend line down here to hit. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Like I said, we're going to take a look at the bullish case scenario also here in a minute. Let's take a look at how this is looking. Like I said, if we close in this area, that's going to be hidden bearish divergence, guys. So be aware of that on the daily. Let's take a look at my wife's webpage, anchorimage.com. If you guys want to help support the channel, definitely check out her page. She's got a lot of cool crypto stuff on here. You can put anything you want on any of this stuff. If you have a favorite project or just a funny saying or pictures or whatever, hit her up in the contact. She can hook you up. All right, so let's take a look at this. Now we're going down into the 4-hour time frame now. And I do want to show I'll show you the bigger picture first. That I do believe this was the top still. Looking at this as a rising wedge in white. And if we take a measured move of that wedge from the widest point to where we broke out, it's around $6,000 range. And we also put the Fibonacci retracements from the swing low to the swing high, and we broke down here. So the Fibonacci retracements, the first level was 0.236. We played on that level for a while. Obviously, it is support as of right now. and that's 10,445. And then we have the 0.382. If this breaks, we are looking at the 9180 area, and the 0.5 is at 8165. But we do have a target here around the 8800 still. And we'll take a look at these targets here in a minute. But this area right here is really important to me. It is the Fibonacci golden pocket retracement between the 0.65 fib and 0.618, and that's 6850 to 7150. A break of that, then we hit our target of 6,000, and then we have the 0.786 fib at 5675, and then of course the CME gaps all the way at the bottom. Now let's zoom in here and take a closer look at what's going on. So this is where I was talking about yesterday on that video that I showed you in the beginning, breaking this, come up, hitting this, being a fake out, and coming down. This is a very important trend line as of right now, and the top of it right now is around 11,116. That's why I have my stops at 11,125. But a break of this, then we could be looking at our next targets. And the first one, measuring from this point here as a triangle, and we put it up to the breakout, and this is if we break that 11,120 area. My next target, then I could switch long to, I would wait for a retest of this and then switch long, go to 11,900 is that target. And of course 11,200 is going to have some resistance in there too. But if we take a measured move of this whole thing using this as the widest point of the triangle, bring it up, then that would be the 12,380 range. And then if we use this bottom pink trend line and this top trend line here, this does not break. Or if it does break, I'm sorry. If we use that as a measured move, that could be all the way up to 14,200, which would break that high over there, which would come up most likely, test this trend line. That would be towards the end of this month. If we're bullish here, and only if we can break this range right here. But I would see some resistance on this trend line of the wedge too. We just could get rejected there and come back down. But again, unless we break that, I'm still bearish here. I talked about it yesterday, getting a fake out and then coming down. We see that a lot. Now let's take some measured moves of that. If we measure this whole, let me zoom in so you can see it. Measure this whole thing. And another thing, everybody talks about all the institutional money coming in, blah, blah, blah. If all that money really made a difference, we'd be a lot higher than we are now. We know what the bull run did in 2017. You got to be careful, guys. These guys with all the money, they don't have, there's nothing telling them they have to tell you they bought. There's nothing anywhere telling them they have to tell you they bought. I'm pretty sure they were buying all the way down here. They're telling you about their buys now because they want you to buy into their dumps. They're smart. They bought down here. They're not continuing to buy right now. That's crazy. But anyways, let's see what happens. We could come down, retest this, and then, blow through. But let's take some measured moves here. First one being measure this short move. Would be down around the $9,300 range, which would close our 9,700 gap. And then if we did a measured move from here, came down to break that, that's our 8,800. Still a possibility to get down to that 88, 8,900 range. Let's take a look at one more thing here. Are we seeing any divergence? Not necessarily, unless we look over at this peak here. We could be seeing some divergence, but we'll go into the 1 hour. And in the 1 hour, so as of right now, this trend line here, like I said, 10,500, that's the area. If that breaks, we're looking down towards the CME gap down here around 9,600. And that is a measured move that is still valid because that was a break of this rising channel. And that is the measured move of that. Still believe we're coming down here to at least close this gap. But I do think lots of people will long there. And if we get to this area, it's going to be a long squeeze and that will plummet. I'm still sticking to my guns on this, guys. Nothing has changed in the macro to make me at all bullish. If we look here on the 1 hour, we're having lower highs in the RSI, higher highs in the price action. That is bearish divergence. And as you guys know, you can look back at my prior videos. This was our neckline, looking at this as a head and shoulders. And we have had this drawn there forever, and boom, that's exactly where we're getting rejected. Like I said, if we do break that, that would line up with the last trend line I showed you. Come back down, test it for support, and then we're off to the races. But I don't think that's going to happen, guys. Yeah, I guess the bulls can have hope, but I just don't. I'm not bullish here. There's nothing telling me to be bullish. Let's look at the dollar index. So we've been talking about this for weeks and weeks. We did come down, test it. We keep closing, opening, closing above this support line. If we have a close below here, below the support line today, and there is almost 8 hours left in this candle, if it does close down under here, then we're most likely bearish, and that will make Bitcoin bullish. Otherwise, this cranks back up here, closes above, Bitcoin remains bearish, dollar gets bullish. Litecoin, nothing has changed here, guys. All my targets are the same. Nothing at all has changed. This rising channel here, the breakdown from that measured move is 38.62. Still looking for that. People say that's crazy, but unless you pass this 55.45 point, this is still valid. Also, we would have to get it back into this channel here, which is around 5180 to 5200 or 5180 to 52 on Litecoin. As of right now, we are playing with the 200 EMA. I know Ethereum has broken above it, but also if you look, if we do close around this area, we have an hour left, would be bearish divergence. But we'll see what happens if this gets a pump here or what. But anyways, in the big picture, my target for Litecoin still, first one being 38.62, second one being 31.25. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Same thing, nothing's changed here either. Ethereum is giving us bearish divergence now. If you look at the lower or the higher highs in the RSI, lower highs in the price action, that is hidden bearish divergence. Everything's still pointing down. And like I said, all the bulls are getting crazy. They think it's going to the moon now. I'm getting all kinds of stupid comments that people are just rude and nuts. I can't wait to laugh at them. But anyways, first measured move is this rising broadening wedge here. Measured move of that, 246. And the measured move of this as a bear flag, putting it down here, is 200. Still looking for them areas. Nothing has changed, in my opinion, at all. Anyways, get out of the small time frames. You'll feel much better. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click CryptoSavvy logo above my head to get you subscribed to the channel. Smash the like buttons. I can't stress that enough. That helps the YouTube algorithm and really helps the channel out. And leave your comment down below. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.